Hello, welcome back to Fire's Gaming. My name is Ben, and today we're continuing with Ever17. So last time out, we made lunch for everybody, but then the power went out, and decided to go searching for Sora. But on the way, we ran into Tsugumi, who recruited us to go with her to try to fix the generator. But then she almost killed us both with some crazy stunt, flooding the elevator to try to get it to sink down to the 3rd floor. So yeah, let's pick it up here after they managed to get out of the elevator. The hallway was dark. The darkness hid our surroundings from us and felt oppressive. I walked slowly forward, making sure of each step. In my right hand, I had a huge toolbox. It was so heavy it felt like my shoulder might break under its strain. I wonder if this area is full of water from yesterday's flooding. Tsugumi shot a question back at me. So what? 2 syllables. That was all she said. What's your problem anyway? Just a minute ago, you were desperately screaming for help to keep from drowning. I didn't scream anything. Yeah, but your eyes did. Did not. There you go, acting all tough again. I'm not acting tough. Besides. Ow, just stop all of a sudden like that. It's dark and I can't see. Listen up, I'll tell you once more, I never ever asked for help. Tsugumi stared back at me. Shrouded in the darkness, I couldn't really make out her expression. Yeah, but if I hadn't opened up that door, the chances are you and I would both be floating drowned in that egg. If I have to be saved by you, then I'd rather die. Oh, really? Jeez, why can't this girl ever be honest with people? I went around Tsugumi and walked further along the flooded corridor. One more thing I want to get off my chest. What are those words all about anyway? What words? As she fired another short question at me, Tsugumi passed me again. What you said before we got in the egg on the 2nd floor. I really, really need you. Your eyes are watering. You're begging me, right? Yes, I did. Oh, that was an unexpected answer. What about it? So you're depending on me after all. Now you finally admit it? Tsugumi continued forward without talking. Yeah, what else did you expect, brah? In other words, if something were to happen, you would be someone you could rely on. You're afraid to be alone, that's why you wanted me to kill. You are such an idiot. Huh? Don't you get it yet? That eye elevator is a neutral buoyancy elevator, so for the most part it doesn't require outside power. But it does need power for the intake and release of water from the ballast tank. In fact, that's the only time it needs power. And since this is a blackout, you couldn't operate the ballast valve, that much I know. Well, do you know Archimedes' principle? Yeah, I know it. Dang, you're annoying. Of course I know about it. The buoyancy of a submerged object is equal to the weight of the liquid displaced by the objects. What does that have to do with what we're talking about? How about you figure the rest out yourself? Ah, there she went again. She teased me along, but that was it. I gave a deep sigh and shook my head. I switched the heavy toolbox to my other hand and continued walking. After walking a while, Tsugumi turned right ahead of me. I followed after her. Oh. Turning the corner, it finally hit me. I see, so that's what you meant. I thought it was weird you invited me along. To sink that egg elevator to the 3rd floor, its total weight had to be greater than the force of the buoyancy. So just one skinny girl like you wasn't going to be enough weight. Right. So don't get me wrong. Of the 5 people trapped here, you're the heaviest weight-wise, right? I'm not just a big rock paperweight.
そうね。あなたは漬物石っていうよりもただ
No. No, you're more than a rock.
ぶつけ物。
You're a rockhead. As I was thinking of a comeback to Rockhead, we arrived at our destination. Yellow and black stripes appeared dimly ahead. This is it? This is the generator room? There is a plate with information in front of the door, but it is too dark to read. Now let's take a look. I reached toward the door handle.
待って。
Wait. Skimmy grabbed my arm. What's up? What? Right, we don't have the kid here this time with his weird psychic powers to, see heat. If you don't talk, I don't understand. Skimmy held my arm firmly. The wet palm of her hand felt cool. I didn't know what she wanted to say. I had tried to read something from her expression, but it was too dark to see.
開かない方がいいと思う。
I don't think you should open it. Why
危
not?
険だから。多分。
It's dangerous. Maybe. Dangerous inside this room? Sugumi nodded and gently removed her hand from my arm. And then she quietly approached the door. She tossed some of the water droplets from her hand at the steel door. The droplets sizzled on the door, evaporating away. Is there a fire or something inside? Sugumi shook her head.
熱水を利用した発電機から出火するとは考えられない。
The generator uses hot water, so I don't think it could be a fire. Then
きっと蒸気が
it's probably steam.
とても高い温度の水蒸気が中に充満してるんだと思う。
I think it's just packed full of extremely hot steam.
ここの発電機はもともと6気圧の下で正常に作動するように設計されてたのよ。
This generator is designed to operate normally at 6
でも
atmospheres.
レミュー内の大気は今1気圧。
But right now, Lemieux's air pressure's at 1 atmosphere.
高圧力の蒸気が充満したタンクとかパイプとかそういったものに亀裂が生じる可能性もないとは言えないわ。
There is a possibility that a tank or pipe with high pressure steam could have ruptured.
あるいは異常が感知されたせいで安全バルブが開放されたとか。
Or that some abnormality was detected and triggered a safety valve to be opened. Oh, I get it. Either way, steam's leaking from somewhere and there's enough power to turn the turbine, so the generator stops. If that's what happened, then that could have been pretty dangerous. The instant I opened the door, my whole body would have been showered with several hundred-degree steam. I mean, depending on how hot that door was, you might not have been able to open it anyway. I just burned your hands off. Like Sugumi, I tossed water on the door. After that, Sugumi and I made for the room next door to the generator room. We were implementing Sugumi's plan. First, shut off the hot water flowing to the generator room. It was dark and I couldn't see everything, but the room was covered in an astounding network of pipes. The pipes continued into the generator room next door, and it seemed that opening and closing the valves could adjust the water and oil pressure. Normally, Lemmy is responsible for maintaining the generator room, but even Lemmy can't do much when the generator itself goes out. Anyhow, this is all because the power supply is down. This room is designed so that maintenance can be performed manually at times like this, or during blackouts. That was what Sugumi told me. Why does Sugumi know so much about Lemieux? She seemed to know where the generator room and the room with all the pipes was. These doubts nagged at my mind. As I was thinking these thoughts, Sugumi plugged away next to me. Sugumi selected one pipe from the countless rows of them and closed its valve. I had no idea which pipe was doing what, but Sugumi had known. What kind of girl is Sugumi anyway? I still hadn't found out how she had known that the inside of the generator was dangerous. I wonder if Sugumi has some kind of connection with Lemieux.
これで多分大丈夫だと思う。
I think this should do it. As soon as the work was done, Sugumi left. I was left alone in the room. There were still a number of nagging doubts I hadn't resolved. With this, we would be able to shut off the hot water flowing to the generator room. Even so, on the other side of the door, it was still hot enough to scald. Tsugumi and I waited from the generator room until the temperature inside had cooled down sufficiently. We sat on the water-covered floor and leaned against the wall. We sat next to each other. We were both already drenched, so we didn't have any problem about sitting in water. Besides, the water was warmer than it looked. I thought it was probably the heat from the generator room. Hey, how long do you think we're gonna have to wait? I asked Tsugumi this. An hour? Tsugumi didn't even try to answer. It was so dark that I couldn't even tell if she had nodded or shaken her head. In the darkness, there were intermittent and repeated clicking noises. It was like the sound of dry plastic crinkling, like on the top of a champagne bottle. It sounded like it was coming from near Tsugumi's hands. What's that?
Eh?
What? That crackly sound you're making. The sound stopped. Tsugumi took whatever it was and put it away in her pocket. I thought it might be her way of saying, I'm not going to tell. What's with you? You only answer when you feel like it? You're like a cat.
猫は嫌い。
I hate cats. Huh?
ネズミを食べちゃうから。
Because they eat mice. I don't have a clue what you're talking about.
私は
I...
猫じゃない。
I'm not a cat. That's for sure.
私が答えるかどうかは気分とは関係ないの。
My answering has nothing to do with my
意味
mood.
のある質問には答える。そうじゃなければ答えない。ただそれだけ。
If a question has meaning, I answer. If it doesn't, I don't. That's all. Really? So you are serious.
だからそういう質問には答えたくないの。
So that's the kind of answer I don't want to question. Sorry, that's the kind of question I don't want to answer.
確認のための質問。
A question to check
あ
something.
なたには知る必要のない質問。
A question about something you don't need to know.
私が知らないことを知ってるくせに聞いてくるような質問。
Or questions about things that you know I don't know, but you ask anyway.
世の中にはあまりにも不毛な会話が多すぎる。そう思わない？
And there's more than enough pointless conversation in the world, don't you think? Alright, I got it already. How about I ask you a meaningful question? I want to ask... I don't know if that question would make any difference or not, so... Why do you know so much about the Mew? I decided to ask about something that had been nagging me for a while. Scooby, why do you know so much about the Mew? I mean, you seem to know all about the details of stuff, like this generator room or the pipe room or whatever. I couldn't check her expression, but it seemed like she was deep in thought about something. How's that for a meaningful question?
全然
Completely
意味なんかないわ。
devoid of meaning. Scooby muttered that.
そんなことを聞いてあなたは何か得する？
How is my answer to that gonna help you?
私のことを知っても何の意味もないでしょ。
It doesn't really matter whether you know about me or
あ
not.
なたには知る必要のないこと。
It's something you don't need to know. Oh, I see. If you don't want to tell me, that's fine. Still, I really did want to know. Tsugumi's evasion of the question made me interested in finding out what there really was to her. But I didn't think that she'd answer if I badgered her about it anymore. I was feeling irritated, but decided to play it cool and pretend like I didn't care. Then...
ね
Hey. I didn't know what she was thinking, but Tsugumi suddenly put her face in front of mine.
え、
What?
今度は私の番ね。
Now it's my turn. Yeah?
質問してもいいでしょ。
Can I ask you a question? Sure, go ahead.
目閉じてくれる？
Will you close your eyes? Is that the question?
正確に言うと
It's more of a... Oh, jeez. It's more of a favor. This really creepy, coy look on her face. There in the darkness, in that narrow corridor, just a few inches from my nose, the two of us... My mind turned to steam and
閉
evaporated.
じて。
Are they closed? Almost as if I were hypnotized, my eyes began to sink. And immediately after that, going on here? I didn't know it's making these noises. I opened my eyes without thinking. Segumi was grinning mischievously right in front of me. Yeah, close them. Segumi covered my eyes with one hand. And then... Hey, what are you doing? You jerk! You dumb jerk! I screamed. What are you doing? A liquid spray like something showered my face. That went in my mouth. Take that, you loser! What is going on here? Stop it, what's the matter with you? I desperately tried to resist, but my body wouldn't do what I told it. Segumi had me by the neck. How's that, you slug? You scum of the pond of life? Those words, the eruption of my face stopped. My mouth is numb. What do you spray on me? It's a good creepy laugh. I thought she was laughing, but the next thing I knew, Segumi had started rubbing my mouth with rubbing my face with the cloth. It was rough, and her technique wasn't any better. Ugh. I stopped my futile resistance. I was almost choking. That's just about right. Segumi took her hand off my neck. Unable to open my eyes, I scooped up seawater from the floor and put it in my mouth. It was salty, but I didn't have any other choice. Making mouth swishing noises here, I guess. Ugh. Hey! That's dirty, so don't go spitting it over here. You! I wanted to say something to her, but wash my face took priority. I scooped more water, splashed on my face, and gargled again. I opened my eyes. What do you think you're doing? What'd you put on my face? Acetone. Oh great, I'm so happy it wasn't some pesticide. Where the hell did she get acetone from? You think I'm serious, you idiot? I'm kidding. What are you doing, spraying that on me all of a sudden? It was hard to look at. Oh, he probably still had all that marker all over his face. Huh? What was? Your face. Whose? Yours. Ew. And then I realized something. I remembered. The black ink that had been on the palms of my hands. I see. This is the graffiti. It was still there. You already saw the writing. I completely forgot about it until just then. When I was making sandwiches, looking for Sora, and coming here, the writing had been on my face since that morning. And the acetone. Acetone, that's supposed to be like nail remover, right? I really hope it means nail polish remover. I found it in the toolbox. There's a strong stench from it in the air. It stung my nose like overripe fruit. It smelled like a hangover. Thanks. I thanked her. So, what did the writing say? I asked her about the graffiti. There's a weird little facial movement there. You can wait if you want, but I'm not answering. Because it's a meaningless question. Fantastic. In the end, I never did find out why she called me a slug. My only guess is that was what was written on his face. Not really sure why else she would have yelled all those insults otherwise, because they were out of nowhere, made no sense. We waited for the generator room to cool before going inside. The heat inside just about defied imagination. The air in the steam-filled room was heavy and stuck to the skin. Inhaling felt like swelling globs of sticky hot steam. I was opening and closing his mouth? I was opening and closing my mouth like a fish out of water. Is it hard to breathe? Segumi seemed to have ruled this question of mine meaningless as well. She completely ignored me. She started working to get the generator up and running again. We did the work together. Tsugumi gave commands. I followed them. I gotta say, it's impressive that Tsugumi and you, who are, like teenagers, and I mean, I guess I don't know how old Tsugumi is, but Yu's like freshman in college, and she's not exactly an engineering student. It's like really impressive. At least you know how to fix this giant, complicated generator with no instructions. Whatever. Anyway, I did the grunt work, tightening bolts, loosening valves, and working on pipes. And when I finished tightening the last bolt, that should do it. I wiped my sweater with my collar. And it's just like Tsugumi had said, the blackout was caused when the safety valve had opened due to the drop in air pressure. Pressure from the steam becomes excessive, the valve automatically opens to release the gas to prevent damage. Normally, after release of surplus gas, the valve is designed to shut automatically, but we're at 1 atmosphere, so because the safety valve never closed, the steam continued leaking. Anyway, that was the gist of the explanation. Tsugumi and I went to the generator room and went to the pipe room. There, we opened the valve we had closed before the repairs, and returned to the generator room. So, should we try to fire it up? I'm turning it on. You ready? Jeez. This girl is annoying as hell. Let's start the countdown. 30 seconds. 25 seconds. Does this guy just not know how to count down like a normal person? 20. 19. 18. 17. Tsugumi pushed the button. Hey, what are you doing? We still have 17 seconds to go. You can't wait a little more than a mere 10 seconds? This is kind of like a ritual. Anyway, it's very important.
0.
0. The lights lit up all at once. The light poured down, illuminating even the corners of the room. It's like our field of vision expanded in an instant.
ほらね。電気がつくまでちょうど17秒。
See, it took exactly 17 seconds for the lights to come on. Tsugumi flashed me a condescending glance and strolled out of the room. I shouldered the weighty toolbox and followed after Tsugumi. We found ourselves back in front of the neutral buoyancy elevator. Tsugumi's waiting with her arms closed.
遅い。
You're slow. What do you expect? Someone carrying this leaden toolbox.
知ってる。
I know. Oh, yeah. I forgot it was Tsugumi and took the toolbox out of the warehouse. As I recall that, I turned my eyes to the egg-like elevator. On the other side of that door, the egg that we came in should have been waiting. It was an egg with a hole in it, and it was useless to us. To the left, the floor display is lit up with the number 3. Did you know there's another egg elevator stop down here?
知らなきゃ来ない。
Wouldn't have come if I didn't. I suppose not. This is heavy. Inside the egg elevator, I put the toolbox on the floor.
おっさんみたい。
You sound like an old man. Shut up, I am an old man compared to you. As I said that, I pushed the up button next to the elevator door. The internal and external watertight doors already sealed automatically. We could hear air being sent into the ballast tank under the floor. Finally, the egg-shaped elevator didn't start to float up. Are you serious? The sound beneath the floor had stopped and silence had returned. Ugh, not again. Why do we keep running into problem after problem? No, it was useless. I pushed the up button repeatedly. Tsugumi was as matter of fact as always. She was playing with and coiling her long, still damp hair with her finger. Alright, so what do we do? Just as I said that, a monitor just to the right of the round window flickered to life. Takushi, Tsugumi. Sora, where have you been? We looked everywhere for you. I'm terribly sorry. Please accept my apologies. The image of Sora in the monitor bowed deeply. That's not important right now. Tsugumi and I fixed the generator. It would appear so. Thank you so much. Thank you. I think you know this, but we're in this egg, this eye. Yes, I know. The eye's not moving, correct? What should we do?
まずその原因についてなのですが、
First, in regard to the
おそ
cause.
らく内部気圧が減少した関係でバラストタンク内の海水を十分に排出することができないからだと思われます。
It is likely the result of decreased internal air pressure that has made the device incapable of sufficiently expelling the seawater in the ballast tank.
つまり、
In other words, you mean it isn't buoyant enough.
はい、
Correct.
浮上させる方法はいくつか考えられますが、
There are a number of feasible methods for making it rise, but it was then that Scooby acted. She suddenly opened the watertight door. Hey, what do you think you're doing? Without answering, Scooby also opened the Lemieux side door.
じゃあね。
Okay then. Huh? Scooby tried to get out of the elevator. I grabbed her arm, trying to stop her.
触らないで。
Don't touch me. It was a solid smack.
触らないでって。言ったでしょ。
Yeah, jeez, that was a really long pause. I told you, don't touch me. My cheek didn't hurt. I absently watched Scooby return to the floor. Start. The egg quietly started to descend. I could no longer see her on the other side of the door.
50 meter.
Depth 150 feet. Why are the announcements in German?
Tiefe 45 meter.
Depth 135 feet.
Tiefe 40 meter.
Depth 120 feet. The recorded announcement echoed with a tinny sound. Oh no, Scooby! Scooby! When I met everyone on Spider's dock, they greeted me with friendly shouts.
つぐみがどうかしたの？
Super friendly shout right there. What happened to Scooby? That idiot decided to stay alone on the floor below.
そうみたいね。
It sure looks like it. No, it doesn't look like it. She did. She's all alone down there. Does this idiot not know how elevators work? Aren't you worried about her? But... go back down. Go on down and bring Scooby back.
Huh?
Uh-huh. Can't leave Scooby alone down there. Look, she's really not as tough as she acts. Somebody has to be with her. Hey, what are you doing? Get your act together. Scooby can be a bit of an ass, but it doesn't mean you have to be so cold to her. Enough. Anyway, go back for her. With that, I went back to the entrance to the egg and waited in front of the doors. Next, she's just gonna be right there. The doors opened. Yep, this guy just doesn't know how elevators work.
どいてもらえる？
Will you move?
邪魔なんだけど。
You're in my way. I simply stood there. Scooby pushed me out of the way and walked by. If there's a rock there, I would have crawled under it. So I did the next closest thing I could think of.
35 meter.
Depth 105 feet.
Tiefe 40 meter.
Depth 120 feet.
Tiefe 45 meter.
Depth 135 feet. I went back down to just stocking the egg for no reason. Didn't have enough buoyancy, so we had to come up one by one. Gosh, I'm dense. If I could have, right then, I would have liked to sink down to the bottom of the ocean. What an idiot. Alright, well, on that note, it feels like as good of a place as any to go and call it for today. So, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you all next time.